So thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Jess Ventura, and I'm part of the graduate recruitment team here in the graduate division at UC Merced. Today we have a couple staff members from different departments who will be covering topics on the new hire paperwork process, the new hire process, and then also just sharing some information on grad funding. We'll let the team introduce themselves. I think I'll turn it over to Jesse, who's also on the grad recruitment team, and then we'll popcorn it over to our colleagues to say hello.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jesse Hernandez, and I'm the graduate recruitment specialist here at Graduate Division. And I'll go ahead and pass it on to Andrea.
Thanks, Jesse. My name is Andrea Smothers, and I work in the Payroll Services Department. I am the supervisor over the academic workflow specifically. I have 5 analysts that work in the academic workflow to assist grad students with any payroll questions they might have. I'll hand it over to Chua.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chua, and I'm the Student Financial Services Manager within the Grad Funding Unit under the Graduate Division.
Great. Thank you, Andrea and Chua. So to get started, I think, Andrea, do you want to go ahead and get us going with some information on new hire details?
Sure. Mine's probably going to be a little lengthy. Is that okay?
Take all the time you need.
Okay, sounds good. Welcome, everybody. I just wanted to share briefly what the onboarding process will look like for your population. Normally, when an employee is onboarded at the university, they come in to our intake office and they meet with one of our intake coordinators. Because you're attending Grow, we are going to take advantage of that and onboard you all in one big group, albeit individually. So we expect to receive a list from your hiring department. Yes, thank you, Jesse. We will have plenty of time for questions. We expect to see a list from your hiring department by the end of July that will give us your names, your emails, and your title that you are anticipated to hold, or excuse me, your job code. Old school vernacular was title, but it's now referred to as a job code that you'll hold for the fall semester. We will create box folders. We, being the analysts in our department, will create box folders. They're secured, private link. You will receive from one of our 3 payroll analysts, Chelsea Pedretti, if your last name begins with the alphabet letters A through G, Sarah Lorenko, if your last name begins with the letters H through O, or Rachel Maldonado, if your last name begins with the letters P through Z. They will come directly from the payroll analyst. It will not show directly from payroll services. You'll get instructions in that email. There's about 5 or 6 instructions that you have to follow before you show up for one of the 2 hiring events. If you have not received an email by the end of business on Friday, August 8th, we start on the 1st, but because there are so many of you, it takes us a couple days to get them all out, but we should have sent out all emails by Friday, August 8th. Please reach out to your hiring department contact, not payroll services. We don't know that you're being hired until we receive your name on a list. So it's best to start with your department and ensure that your name was submitted to payroll to be included. The week of August 9th through the 13th, you will have those instructions in the email from our analysts. You will follow the individual box link created just for you. You're the only one with access, as well as our payroll analyst. And you will download and complete the 4 PDF fillable documents that are in there. They're real quick documents. You do not have to print them out unless you feel more comfortable doing them that way. They are PDF fillable, so you should be able to type them in. But you will need to re-upload them into Box to make sure that they are available for your onboarding appointment on either Thursday, August 14th or August 15th. So I suggest that you complete them and have them loaded by end of business on August 13th. Do not bring them with you. If you do choose to print them out, please make sure you have the availability to scan them or photo them and put them back into Box. We will not accept any documents that day. Also, something to consider as you're filling out the form labeled your personal data form. This is where your first paycheck is going to be mailed. So don't put your mom and dad's address if they live in Kansas, because that's where your first check is going to go. If you don't have a local address set up already, you may want to check with a friend who does have a local address. You can go into UC Path after you are provisioned as an employee, and update your address if need be. But if you're still searching for housing, you can use a friend's address. And if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to Payroll Services. We can give you some suggestions. The email from Payroll Services Analyst will also contain a link to schedule your onboarding appointment for either Thursday, August 14th or Friday, August 15th between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3:45. Please schedule that appointment as soon as you get the email from Payroll Services to arrange, the time that works best for you. You will then receive a second separate email from an employment authorization at universityofcalifornia.edu. This email is also referenced in the email that comes from Payroll Services. So if you don't receive it or don't first see it easily in your inbox, you may want to search your junk folders. And we tell you how to do that in the email that we send you. This link directs you to the first page of the USCIS Employment Eligibility Verification I-9 document. In this document, when you follow that link, it will have you enter your legal name, your residence address, this can be your permanent residence address, and your citizenship status. This needs to be completed and signed before attending one of the 2 hiring sessions on Thursday, August 14th or Friday, August 15th. As I pointed out, the email sometimes goes to your junk folder. There are instructions in the Payroll Services email to look for it. Please let Payroll Services know, the analyst that sent you the email, if you do not receive the email with the link to the I-9 eligibility verification. Additionally, there will be a link in the Payroll Services email to the acceptable USCIS documents. I'm also going to include that link here in our chat. These are the documents that you can use to verify your work eligibility. Please review it before your appointment on either the 14th or the 15th to ensure that you have the original unexpired documents with you when you come to one of the 2 hiring sessions. We cannot accept photocopies, scans, photos from your phone, or expired documents. If you are a returning employee, meaning you've worked for the university before, we cannot use the documents that you previously presented to be hired item. You have to have your original unexpired documents with you on your person. On Thursday and Friday, we will be located in the Granite Pass, room 130 from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Our last appointment will be at 3:45. The graduate division will set up a table outside to check in individuals for their scheduled appointments. Walk-ins will be checked in separately and seen as time permits between the scheduled appointments. That's why I said when you get that email from us, make that appointment first. Payroll Services intake coordinators will also be outside, and they'll meet with you briefly to confirm that you've completed the necessary hire documents and box, you haven't overlooked anything, and that you've uploaded everything. And they will ensure that you've completed the first page of the I-9. Sorry, you jumped in the question. Yes, Jennifer, they can. Their department will need to set up an intake request for them. They'll need to let them know. And I'll talk about the checks in a minute. Once you're inside the room, you've gone through grad division check-in, you've gone through Payroll Services intake coordinators, you will present that original unexpired work document to the payroll analyst, and that payroll analyst will complete page 2 of the I-9 employment eligibility document. You will then be handed paper copy university's oath and patent that you will need to complete before you leave the room. You will not take it with you. It stays with us and goes in your personnel file. Those 2 documents are all you're coming to see us for that day. We don't anticipate this appointment taking longer than 10 to 15 minutes once you're inside the door. The line, unfortunately, usually gets a little bogged down. That's why, again, strongly suggest you make an appointment. And something to just be aware of, that you will have to complete rehire documents every time you separate from the university. As of fall 2025, all graduate student appointments are going to be auto-term unless your school or department reaches out to extend your employment. You should confirm with your department or school in the future if you must complete rehire documents when reappointed each semester, when being reappointed each semester. Just a reminder to put in the back of your head that if you do have future appointments, you want to make sure that you're legally eligible to work before you start performing services. If you complete your onboarding documents on August 14th or 15th, and your department or school has provided your job information to payroll services, we anticipate you being entered and active in the payroll system to receive your prorated August earnings on the regular on-cycle pay date of 9/1/2025. If you do not complete onboarding documents before August 16th, 2025, you will not receive a paycheck on 9/1/2025. An off-cycle check will be ordered once your appointment is active in UC Path, but it will be dispersed after 9/1/25. Disbursement will depend on when your appointment becomes active. We can't estimate that until we enter the appointment. So that's why it's very important that you keep those 2 appointments. If you're not able to join us on the 14th or 15th, please check in with your school and ask them to request an intake appointment before the 14th. And then you will still meet that deadline of all documents have to be completed by the 16th. Paydays are the first day of the month for the previous month's earnings. Occasionally, payday is earlier if the first is a Sunday or a holiday. It will never be later. And as I mentioned, it is for the previous month's earnings. So you'll receive August prorated pay on 9/1/25. You'll receive September's pay on October 1st. Payroll services will enter your job into the payroll system, and you should receive a welcome email no later than August 26th. The welcome email will have additional tasks for you to set up in UC Path, such as your direct deposit, tax withholding, self-identification for race and ethnicity. If you do nothing else, please log in immediately into UC Path. I'm going to give you the link for that right now. Oh, that's a really long link. Let me know, Jen or Jess, if that goes to the UC Path landing page. It's not normally that long. I don't know why it is. It doesn't come across that long in the internet browser, but that is UC Path. You will use that to do anything related to your employment. You'll also see your earnings statements in there. After the first, when you get paid, you can log in and see the breakdown of your earnings and the deductions and taxes that were withheld.
I think, Jen, did you see the link come through? I didn't see it on my end.
Oh,
Yes.
you know
what? Go to.
I think it went directly to Jen.
Oh.
She had emailed me or texted me, and hold on, let me repost it.
I was gonna say I got it.
And while we're getting that link, I'm
There you
just to let all the students know we are recording today's session. So I know Andrea is sharing a lot of important information. So if you're taking notes and you feel like you missed something, this will be online hopefully by the end of the day. So you can come back and you'll get a lot of this information via email in the next couple weeks. So Andrea, back to you.
Okay, that link is to UC Path, the Employment Financial System. I'm not sure where I left off, but when you get the email from us, your welcome email after your appointment is entered into UC Path, it will have some links to items that you need to take care of. First and foremost is your direct deposit information. So you'll log into UC Path, confirm that is in there, enter it if you've never been employed before. Even if you have set up direct deposit information in the registrar system or some other system here on campus, you will need to enter it in UC Path. They are not systems that relay that information between themselves. Likewise, if you've worked here before as an undergraduate student or as a graduate student on another university campus, that information is usually purged from the system when you're separated. So don't assume that it's entered in there. However, because of the timing of the new appointments and the confirmation of pay for August, most of you that are new employees will receive your first paychecks via the U.S. Postal Service. But still log in immediately, enter your direct deposit information so that your September check, which will be dispersed on October 1st, will come via direct deposit. I do need to mention that university employees the last few months have been heavily targeted by hackers for their direct deposit banking information. Please be wary of any email asking you to follow a link and provide your banking information. Do not follow any links sent in any email to UC Path to enter banking information. It's a scam. Always follow the link that you have bookmarked on your desktop or search UC Merced, UC Path, and follow the link that the university has posted. Never follow a link in an email. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been stolen this year by hackers. So be warned, they are actively targeting UC employees. Search for the link and bookmark it if you haven't already. The welcome email will also direct you to TRS, which is the UC Merced's timekeeping system. As a represented employee, teaching assistants and teaching fellows are represented in the BX unit, and graduate student researchers are in the BR unit. You have leave available to you. Please familiarize yourself with your leave set forth in your bargaining contracts so as not to overuse it. A monthly timesheet is required. You will report any leave used during the previous month. Leave is reported in an increment associated with your appointment percentage, or FTE. Most of you are 50% FTEs, so you'll record any leave used in 4-hour increments. Only record leave used if you did not work any portion of the workday. If you go in and do work for an hour and then step away to go to a doctor's appointment, you do not have to record leave used. You only have to record if you took the entire workday off. Do not record leave on the weekends. Timesheets are due no later than the 5th of the following month. You will receive one reminder from the TRS system. Let me give you the link to TRS. It's going to everyone. This is the link for TRS, the timekeeping system. Please bookmark it. Please set a reminder on your phone for the 1st of the month to submit that timesheet. When we go to separate you from your appointment at the end of each semester, we have to reach out and make sure we get all the outstanding timesheets. It's much easier to do this if you've submitted them as we've gone along throughout the year. If you have any questions, payroll questions throughout the year, you can reach out to payroll services. There's another link. This is the payroll services inquiry form. Again, sent to everyone. If you submit your information via that link, it will route to the correct individual to provide you the best answer for whatever you indicate the issue is. That was a lot of information, as Jess said. She'll repost it this afternoon. Are there any questions now about anything that I shared?
I had a question that was sent to me. So if students are trying to log into UC Path or like TRS right now, are they set up or would they get an error message?
They will get an error message until you receive that welcome email from payroll services.
Okay.
Unless they were previously employed as an undergraduate. Most of these have not been, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't believe this student. It definitely has not been. So I think that solves the issue then logging into UC Path right now. So after you fill out your paperwork and get that email, or after you get that email, I think will be set up then. So, okay.
That's the welcome email that will come after you got the email for your onboarding, 2 different emails.
Perfect.
And you should receive that no later than August 26th if you've completed your hire document by the 16th.
Okay. Do any other students have questions about the payroll process? Andre, I'm not sure if you're able to stay with us for the whole hour. Okay.
Yeah.
So if students want to think of other questions, it sounds like we're going to have some more time later. Chua, do you want to go ahead and jump into maybe the grad funding part of things now?
Sure.
Thank you.
1 second. Okay, sorry. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the pre-grow grad funding session. I'm going to talk a little bit about the funding, the different types of funding that are available to you as graduate students. So it's important that you check your award letter, your financial award letter when you're admitted. There's a funding letter, and it'll tell you whether you're going to be receiving funds or regarding TA or GSRs, or if it's going to be a fellowship. You'll find that information in your actual funding letter. So different types of employment are TA, so teaching assistants, or a GSR, which is a graduate student researcher. Those are employment, and they're appointments that are determined by your schools. And so employment, or these types of the TA GSRs are paid through UC Path. And then for fellowships, full fellowships that includes monthly stipends and tuition and fees coverage. Those can be internal or external fellowships. And those are mainly coordinated by the graduate division and your schools. Fellowships are paid through the student financial aid system and not UC Path. So this is where Andrea mentioned earlier, the different direct deposits. With UC Path, it's the direct deposit. With the financial aid system, it's the EFT, which is the electronic funds transfers. And that once it's refunded, it takes 3 to 5 business days before you see it in your bank account. So it's important that if you think you're going to get a fellowship, to have that set up as well. And then to add to that, there's also student loans that are available to you. If you're wanting to know or wanting to take out extra, you can see what you're eligible for by going to the financial aid office. They can help work with you to see how much you're eligible for and how much you can take out for student loans. But the basic eligibility to maintain funding, you must be enrolled in 12 units, be in good academic standing. So that means a completion of 8 units or more of upper division or graduate level coursework, letter grade of B or S satisfactory or above, and no more than 2 incomplete grades. With the GPA at 3.0 or higher. And then for cost of attendance, for this year, fees did go up a little bit. They are roughly around 20,000 for the academic year, so that's fall and spring. Breakdown right there, your tuition is about 65.70 a semester. Student services fees, $645 a semester. And then G-SHIP for the fall, it's a little bit less. For spring, it's slightly more at $29.17, and that's because spring takes you, it includes the summer coverage, so I think it goes up until August, August something. And then campus-based fees are $368.50 per semester. If you add those total up, it'll be roughly around 20,000 for the academic year. So that's your fees if you are non-resident. If you are those are your fees if you are a resident. If you are considered a non-resident for tuition purposes, you'll have to pay the non-resident supplemental tuition, also NRST. It's 15,000, roughly 15,000 the academic year, so about 75.51 per semester. Students who are masters are fully responsible for paying their own NRST fees. PhD students who are domestic, non-residents, your first year of NRST is covered by the graduate division, and then you have by the end of your first year, so going into your 3rd semester, you need to establish residency. Once you establish residency, then there is no more NRST to pay, and you're considered a resident, and then you won't have the NRST on your student account billing anymore. And the international students, you are automatically covered for up to 4 semesters with an additional 2 semesters that are flexible that can be used before or after you advance to candidacy, but mostly students use them up in the first 3 years and then they advance. So once you advance, then the NRST is waived for another 3 years or 3 years. Let's go on to the next slide. Thank you. So if you're going to be employed as a TA or GSR at a 25% FTE or higher, the benefits of employment is fee remissions, which means you get all your fees covered or paid for. So that includes the G-SHIP, your health insurance, your tuition, student services fee, campus-based fees, and NRST, depending on your situation. So the remissions will cover all the fees in the prior slide. So there's nothing out of pocket that you would pay with regards to your fees. And so again, NRST, the first for all masters, you're responsible. That fee is just solely on you until you finish the program. For domestic California non-resident PhD students, your first year is covered. And then for international students, you get that 6 semesters of coverage. And then for employment at the end of the year, you'll get a W-2, and then you can use that to report or file your taxes. On the fellowship side of things, fellowships are not employment-based, so they're not taxed. You do receive, they're usually monthly stipends over the academic year, and those are paid through the financial aid system. And they usually include tuition and fee awards to cover all the fees, all your student fees. And it'll cover the NRST accordingly. And usually if you're going to be receiving any type of fellowship for the summer, the payout is usually June 1st. So it's a lump sum for the whole 3 months, or it's whatever fellowship amount that's given by your program or school. And then for the fellowship, on the fellowship side, you receive a 1098T that's issued at the end of the year for finding. And then again, if you are going to expect or be awarded a fellowship or award, please make sure you set up EFT, and you can do that through the student portal. For Glacier, so Glacier is the NRA tax system. It's the tax compliance systems that foreign individuals use to provide their immigration and tax data. International students must keep this up to date, and it helps determine their tax residency, withholding rates, and income tax treaty eligibility. So if you're international students, you'll get some email from the tax office with requesting information. Please make sure you follow through and follow up and submit all the required documents so that they can make that determination and you can receive your award in a timely. Any questions regarding your tax information? You can questions, email tax@ucmerced.edu. And then on this last slide, we have just resources or additional contacts for you guys, for you all to help you navigate as you begin. So there's Office of International Affairs. They can be reached at international@ucmerced.edu. There's the graduate group coordinators at the School of Engineering, and that's their generic email account right there. It's a staff email account. For School of Social Sciences, Humanity, and Arts, it's shaw.grad@ucmerced. And then natural science is a little bit different in that it has they have their own departmental email. So if you're applied math student, it's apply department support@ucmerced.edu. If you're a CCB student, chemistry and biochemistry, it's just chemistry@ucmerced. For physics at-UC-Merced. QSB student, it's just QSB@ucmerced.edu.
Great. Thank you, Chua. So I know we shared some really important information. I know we had a couple questions come through. We will make the recording and these slides available on our website later today. So if you need to refer back to any of these contacts or things that we talked about, we'll make that all available for you.